Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Today's Restaurant News Networking Group. Today is March the 21st, and I am Howard Appel, the founder and publisher of Today's Restaurant News, and we are a group of vendors in the industry who are here to help each other grow our businesses and position ourselves as experts in the field so that if a restaurant owner, manager, or chef has a question or concern or a problem that they're having problems with and they need help with, they can feel free to give us a call or come on the meeting and we'll be able to help them. And if you want to reach us, give us a call at 561 620 8888 or go to our website at trnusa.com and check out our YouTube channel, which also can be accessed from the website at trnusa.com. Want to introduce a new face on the board this morning. Welcome to Daisy Smith. Daisy, why don't you tell us who you are, what you do, where you're located, and how we can reach you.
Hi, everyone. Good morning. Daisy Smith in Tampa, Florida, with Breakwater Accounting and Advisory. So I help businesses, specifically restaurant retail, with outsourcing their bookkeeping, invoicing, pretty much anything that they need related to their books. And I can put my email in the chat if that's easier.
And tell us, is there a way we can reach you? Because the people watching on YouTube want to reach.
So my best is email, Daisy, DAISY, at Breakwater, BERAKWATR, Corp, CORP.com.
Okay.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Thanks. I'm excited to be here.
Happy to have you.
We're going to just alter our meeting a little bit today. Now that everybody knows Daisy's here, we'll do our intros a little bit later. Up until today, we've discussed the essential steps of a restaurant to open, but we haven't really gotten into what does a restaurant do once they are open? What steps should a restaurant take to promote itself, to get itself off to a good start? And this goes for any other business as well. So I went to Chat GPT, as everybody does, and I got an article, and let's see, there are, I think, 10 items that they recommend that a restaurant do to start promoting themselves. But I'm going to ask you first, you have any thoughts, Azalea? And then we'll go by, we'll discuss it. And if anybody hits one of the 10, I'll elaborate. Yeah, Joemi just came on, so she's going to be a good one for this. Go ahead, Azalea.
I am so passionate about this. You said, what would they do to help promote themselves? Don't do it yourself. Whatever it is that you have to do, hire an expert. Like, go to a marketing company, go to an advertising company, go to the payroll people, go to this group or any group, and fill your pockets with people that are experts in what you need done. So whatever's on that list, don't do it yourself. And then anybody can share whatever it is that needs to get done, but don't do it yourself, because that's what I see with my people, that the ones that succeed have the experts handling every category. The ones that failed, you see them serving the food, making it in the back, and taking pictures for their marketing. Like, right. No. Well, I'm done ranting. See you next week.
I love it. Love it.
Let me just, Joemi, we're talking about what a restaurant needs to do to help set them up and promote themselves. And I looked on Chat GPT and got 10 items, and the first item was you. Develop a strong brand identity. So
Yeah.
tell us about that.
Sure. It's funny you say that because I'm trying to get better at this pitching myself. So thank you, everybody. And I'm like, well, what can I really say that really makes sense for all of us, right? Because we all provide services. So that's exactly where I was going to go to today. So thanks for for saying that. Well, basically, ask me the question again. I'm so sorry.
So you,
I just got
but
lost. Ask me the question.
the conversation that we're having is how to market and promote your new restaurant.
Okay. And this is assuming that we're starting from scratch, correct? Like a
Right.
one-off, like a brand new one?
Brand new restaurant.
Okay. Well, interior design and branding, I think that's what I'm trying to kind of like let people really understand this because everybody thinks of interior design as a foo-foo part of it, right? Oh, interiors. All right. But not until you actually own a restaurant and have several locations, right, with the same menu, you can actually understand the value into the ROI of interiors because you can have the same menu, you can have three locations, let's just say that, right? The menu is not changing, the service is not changing, but your interiors are completely like off. And you make the investment on changing the interiors of one, and you will see day and night of how much more the demographics, the people that you get, how much more inviting this just what in general people just think interiors is the aesthetic. It really is, but it truly is. It's beyond that because an interior. I mean, anybody can just go ahead and put furniture and finishes in the space and agree with the client that this is the way it looks because of the logo or whatever they want to perceive like people to think about this place. But if you don't have a brand, like if you don't understand, like my first thing is how would you want what's your major that you when guests come in the door, how do you want them to feel? Like what's the emotion you want from them? And if we can understand that as a basic, because that's going to drive your brand identity and everything else we pull, then we have like a ingredients, right, to make this just say we're making a burger, we're going to have good buns and a good burger and a good lettuce and a good tomato and a good sauces on it. You can't just have the burger sitting by itself. It's like interiors. It can't just float by itself. You need all of these to make the good burger. And really, so the branding is very important because once you understand what this brand is, like what are we catering, who are we catering for? It's a person that we're creating, then we can pull the interiors that try to its best to make it a 3D sensation of what you're trying to make out of this brand. So interiors are very important. And besides the look, it's also the functionality, right? Because we space plan everything that goes in there, like how you walk in, where is your pickup? Is there deliveries? Do you have a bunch of, what's your major demographic? Are there people that are going to eat by themselves a lot? Are there a lot of business meetings? Like this space planning is a story you're telling your guests since they walk in. That's super important for
Even,
operations, the people that work in there.
Before that, don't you think that a memorable name and a memorable logo?
Yeah, that's huge because if you don't understand what your logo is going to be, how it's going to behave on your, on your menu, on your uniforms, or your packaging, your to-go boxes. I mean, everything is branding. It's not just, a logo and marketing and a social media that relates. Yeah, that's number one. You need to have a logo. You need to have a digital presence that reflects that, but that needs to translate into your guest experience physically, into your interior. So that all needs to be cohesive. And what happens is smaller, people that are just creating a brand, they don't have all these departments. They don't have architecture, development, operations, culinary. They don't have this. So they hire different consultants and then they don't really talk to each other because not unless you have like somebody that knows what they're doing, you can truly create a brand. So to create a brand in a brand new restaurant is creating a brand. So you have everything from scratch to create it great. And interiors are huge. If whatever I said makes sense to everybody, because it's not just furniture, it's the whole planning and thinking through
whole
the
atmosphere.
logistics of how people are going to behave in the space, guests and people that work in it.
Terry, you had something to say?
No, I just want to add to what I think there's a lot here. So I just wanted to add to what she said that, you know, in the whole branding part, it's also about planning ahead you know, I mean, you've got everything from all you have to do for your city and whatever requirements are there. You've got your uh, you know, your equipment, you've got your computers, you've got your where are you going to get your supplies from, like what Kevin and his group help out with.
This is
And then
from when
in
the
my end,
restaurant is already ready to open. That's already been done in this scenario.
oh, okay. I thought you said it was a new one. Okay. But anyway, that one of the things that I have done in the past is that when somebody is planning ahead to open up a restaurant, I can help them put together a grand opening package. So
Right.
that's
one of the
part of what
items that
yeah. So from that perspective, I can help out with that. But I agree with everything that she said. So there's a lot to this.
And to be honest, I'm mesmerized because sometimes I'm dealing with like I'm working with a group that they just do franchising for the legal side of it, right? And they're sending me their clients, and some people that are starting a one-off don't even know like everything that's entitled to open a restaurant. And I'm like, well, how did you get him here? And this guy doesn't understand. Like so I think you know, they need to understand number one, their cost. What is it going to cost me to truly open a great restaurant and a great brand? You know, because you can't just think of opening. I don't know. It depends, I think, on what they're trying to achieve. You know, hopefully they're trying to achieve greatness. I think we all do, and more than one. So thinking big on that from the beginning is opening one, thinking you're going to open 50. So you don't have to come back and rebrand yourself or make a brand out of something that was a one-off.
all right.
Howard, I think if I could just chime in, I think you know the branding and the furniture and all that stuff, like you said, that's all prior to opening. I think once you open up, what does a restaurant have to do to actually stay in business? What I've seen in many times is that, you know, because people who want to open up a restaurant don't really understand the ins and outs of it. They take whatever finances they have and they kind of blow it all with the opening and equipment and their first order, and they don't have any capital to kind of hold them over for, you know, 12 months. And then they start skimming, whether it's on the service or on the cost. You know, I think I totally agree with Azalea. You know, you got to have a professional marketer that's going to promote you, especially on social media. Social media is, you know, runs the world now, and really, you know, promote what you're doing. But also, you know, you don't want that to happen, and then people, and you know, I see it all the time, especially on places in like Let's Eat South Florida. Hey, a new restaurant opened up. I went to go check it out, but the service sucked because they were just too busy. So, you know, I think making sure that you have the capital, making sure that you have the payroll, making sure that you have the right help so that once you get customers in the door, you get them to come back. And, you know, you're not going to have a turnkey operation that, you know, in the first week, you're going to be making money. So you got to be willing to, you know, be in it for the long haul.
Yeah,
Major point. Kevin?
Yeah, you know, I'm going to talk from an operations point of view and piggybacking off of Jerry's point. You know, there's only really one place guests come in and out of the building. That's the front door. You know, some places have two front doors, some places have multiple ways to get in and out, but generally most restaurants have one entry place. And you have to control, if you've done everything right, hired the right staff, trained the right staff, create the right menu, create the right ambiance, you know, the all of the marketing initiatives, and you finally get open, and that's your first day of opening. Somebody needs to be at the front door managing the flow of how customers are coming in and out of the building, making sure that the service is being properly executed, you know, making sure that they're interacting with the guests. Who's the owner of the business? Who's the leader of that building? Who's making sure that every interaction is at a high level and controlling how the flow of guests go to the dining room and how they're taken care of? there's really only one place to do that. That's at the front door. And a lot of openings, you'll see people scrambling and running around trying to fix stuff they probably should have made sure they didn't have to fix to start with. And they're not really controlling what's happening inside the four walls, because you only get one chance to make a first impression. And if you have people coming in for the first time to your business and they're not getting treated the way that we would want to treat people in our own home, if they came over for a Christmas dinner, then they're not going to come back. And they're not going to, and everybody that they interact with after the fact, they're going to tell them how bad it was. And your marketing, whatever money you spend on marketing is shot. Because every experience that a person has is going to determine if they go out and say how great it was, or they go out and say how horrible it was. And you only get one shot at it. You don't get, in the old days, you could have a line out the door and people would come back because it was the cool place to go. But there's so many places opening up now, you don't get a lot of shots at really capturing the audience that's out there. So I think owners that get that, or operators that get that, you'll see them walking in the dining room, talking to tables, working the door, making sure they're shaking hands, interacting with the clients that they have there. And the ones that don't get that, they're in the back of the house, they're absent from what's going on, or they're problem solving on things that they probably should have been more proactive about when they started.
Well, if they're standing at the front door, they should be building their brand with a uniform that Terry could provide. Oh, Terry.
Exactly. I was just going to say that too. That's very important too.
Brand recognition.
Brand recognition. I mean, because a lot of times servers, when they're done with work, what do? They go out and get something else to eat at some other restaurant, right? So you're there. It's very important for them to have, their logo at least at a minimum on their uniform.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I saw an episode yesterday of Bar Rescue, and the bar owner was drinking shots at his own bar and giving away free drinks. And John Tapper sent in a guy to, fix the bar. And he said, and he owns 5 or 6 restaurants. And he said to the owner, he said, I've never had a drink in my own bar, my own restaurant. You never drink in your own restaurant.
Really?
Yeah.
I know we outfitted Michael Tips was on Bar Rescue, and he actually sold the restaurant, but he opened up a restaurant in Daytona called Mama Fufu, and they went with our new culinary line for all of their front of the house and back of the house. But I had many drinks with Michael at his restaurant, I will tell you.
Oh, wow. And that's first information.
One of the other items that they brought up was engage with the local community. So basically, if you're opening up in a strip center, there may be some other businesses in the center that you could cross promote with, or you can sponsor local events or sporting teams, or join local food festivals and farmers markets just to get your name out there. Once you're trying to establish your brand, you want people who are walking by to see that brand, so that when they see your advertising or they see your location, they'll feel comfortable coming in. And the another point they made was, I'm going to ask Kevin about this. They said grand opening, pre-openings and grand openings. Well, somebody in the 9 o'clock group said, don't do that. Don't have a grand openings. Kevin, what do you think?
I think it's a mistake personally, because if you think about everything that you do in the restaurant as an operator, right? You're preparing for that first day. You don't really know for sure how well you're going to do. You don't know how well the staff's going to handle it. You don't know how many customers are going to show up. You prepare to be very busy. And if you do a grand opening, and I'll give you an example of a bad example, you just could get your butt handed to you. So I had an opening in Ormond Beach with a very big chain restaurant, and we did not do grand opening events. We did soft opening events. The word kind of got out that we're opening. They kind of, the employees, the team members, even though they're told not to say anything to anybody, they would tell their family and so on and so forth. So we knew we were going to be busy anyway. But I pulled up about 3 hours before the opening. This was a franchise location. They had the big spotlights in the sky, swirling around. There was 1,000 people waiting in the parking lot to get in. We opened the store. We tried to control the flow, but we just got run over. They were running 1.5 hour long checks just to get food out. A lot of walkouts, a lot of pissed off people. Fairly small market. And that restaurant probably did 70% of its potential volume the first year because of that one day where they had that grand opening event. They just got the crap kicked out of them.
Yeah.
And it wasn't pretty.
You also probably lose a lot of employees too, because they're like,
Oh, yeah.
I'm not gonna do this.
Yeah. Like,
So now you go into day
these
2.
people don't know what they're doing. Why am I here? Right. Yeah. So
Then you go into the first couple of weeks with half your staff, and it's a double-edged sword.
and if you're a small business or the first time business, and you really need that first big bump, I can make a case that it probably makes sense, but just my experience has been that it's not very advantageous usually.
Well, that's 2 out of 2. If you and somebody from our 9 o'clock group had the same opinion, so
Hey,
that's all right.
I totally agree with Kevin. I think restaurants that have, whether it's a soft opening for a few weeks and just trying to get the back of the house and the front of the house used to it, and customers will start trickling in, versus you go crazy on that first day and then a lot of people turn away, and once that goes on social media, and then you lose your staff because they don't want to work in there. It's hard to catch up from that.
Domino.
Yeah, but they always, I've had clients that they've done the opening like 2 months later when they've already had enough time to train everybody to know what's going on. That's the official opening,
understood.
right?
Yeah, and that makes sense.
You have enough time for all that.
That makes sense for sure.
If you ever go to a grand opening,
I think also I saw a lot of restaurants and they switch owners, and if you just like quietly open the door, they think it's the same crap that was there before,
Yeah.
So it doesn't have to be huge if you can't handle it, but you do have to signify some way that, like, hey, there's a new sheriff in town, come try empanadas or whatever it is.
One of the things that I was in discussion with another group, someone brought out a good point is if this is a previous owner and a new owner, and the previous owner has a good reputation, that might be something you want to keep. Don't make a big deal that it's a new owner.
right.
As big of a deal, but if it's a bad, the previous restaurant had issues, then you definitely want to make a huge deal out of it. Huge deal. Because whoever is the owner of a restaurant is the one who everybody is they're going to have their own reputation.
right.
And I think we're talking about 2 different levels of restaurant, right? A restaurant that's a 1 unit, and then we're talking about maybe a group that has 15, 20 units, and then established brands. The openings are going to be treated completely different approaches.
Well, they're going to be handled by a PR firm, a top PR firm that will go in and do that opening for them. And we know a lot of those people that will go in, and they do everything for them, all the marketing. They know where to put everything. They're there for that night, and it's that's a success.
Well, not just that, but the friends and family or not opening that we're talking about. Like a bigger brand will have a bigger chance not to have that much of errors, but whether they do it, they have an opening party or they do friends and family and they wait. Like a brand that has more units, they'll have a better grasp on it than a person that's just starting one off, that's buying a space that they're moving into. They'll have to work on their marketing, on the new name or the new brand. So I think there are 3 different approaches to that.
But Jerry mentioned,
And it's based on
I think just
Yeah.
based off of sheer numbers, there's more independent mom and pop single or 2 unit openings versus someone that has 10 restaurants and they're just going to open up another one. There's a bunch of those as well, but I just think if you look at the day to day, there's more of those little single ones opening up. And I'm sure Azalea could tell how many when we meet, when she goes on, she'll say how many restaurants she has for sale. So that kind of one goes out, another one comes in.
Yeah, right.
We've been to many grand openings, and the staff at the grand openings are always more than the restaurant can support. They overhire for the grand openings, and if you go back a week later, half of those people are not working there. So it really,
I think it's twofold, Howard. I think it's when you go to a grand opening like that, especially I'm talking about a single independent thing. Yes, they do overhire, and I think just out of it's just overwhelming that okay, I'm on day one. I'm a let's just say a high school student or college student looking for a part-time gig, and that grand opening is just overwhelming, and it's crazy. And also, if you really look at it, I think a lot of those, when you walk into a grand opening, a lot of those, especially the new servers, that kind of have that deer in the headlights look. Hey, can I substitute this for this? Oh, I don't know. Let me go check with the back, and so they're trying to feel their way through. So hence going back to what Kevin said, kind of tiptoe your way through it a little bit until they kind of get used to it. Because I know for a fact that after grand opening, Susan left her apron in the back. I guess we're never going to hear from Susan again.
Well, we've been to restaurant openings from one location to chain restaurants, and the chain restaurants, I'm thinking of one here in Boca that opened up. They had an overabundance of labor the first night. I guess they're culling the herd, basically. They're taking what they see are going to be the best people for them, which is fine. That's the nature of the beast. I've got like 6 or 7 additional points that this article brought up, but I don't think we're going to have time to get into it, and we can save it for next week. I want to get our intros in. I saw there was somebody else on the board that disappeared, and I just wanted to mention that I think I know who it was. Barry was supposed to do his presentation today, but he is not able to. He's no longer with his company. So if anybody's interested or knows anybody looking for help, urge you to contact him. So we're going to start our intros today, and we have, let's start out with Azalea.
The client that was here was my client, selling one of his restaurants, and he has like 24 years of experience in the industry, Marcelo, and he joined briefly. I don't know where he went, but I've been telling him for several weeks to join us. So guys, my name is Azalea. I am a business broker and commercial realtor in South Florida. I specialize in restaurants. As of today, I checked, we have 38 restaurants that we're selling. If there's anything I can do to help, the idea is if your client wants a location and they have experience and they know what they're doing, we can get them into a space that's second generation that has a hood and a grease trap and they can run with it. Or if they want to sell their current restaurant full package, like name, here's my tax returns, everything, or if they just want to sale of assets, so permits, licenses, furniture, fixtures, equipment, and the rights to the space, we can do that. And yeah, anything I can do, give me a call. My number is 786-457-2796. I've been practicing my phone number.
Thank you. I wasn't going to say anything. Terry Ark, good morning. Got you by surprise.
Sorry, I have construction people here and someone helping out with other things, so I'm a little distracted. But I'm Terry with Creative Business Impressions. I am your go-to person for promotional items, anything that you want to put your company logo on. And one of the things that I do is I help if you all are doing a grand, if someone's doing a grand opening. I can do tents, I can do banners, I can do cups, mugs, and even pens. Pens are an important thing to give to somebody when they're signing their check, and just in case that they might actually take it. So all kinds of different things. That's it for me. 561-308-1393.
Thank you. Randy, good morning.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Randy Pumputis here with Heartland Payroll. Welcome, Daisy. I was actually over in Tampa last week for a payroll acquisition. Might have some clients to refer to you for bookkeeping. Azalea, let's keep those referrals going. I could have spoken an hour on your topic. Good topic, but a lot of key points to that. I do a lot of soft openings and grand openings with clients, and that's the biggest part is preparation, getting everything ready. So Heartland Payroll, Fortune 500 company. We handle everything from startups, multi-IDs, mom and pops, franchises, which is now my forte, I guess, and also takeovers. Azalea sold a client, and we were able to not only save them on payroll, but actually streamline their hiring process, and they're doing quite well. So easy transition. I can be reached at 585-622-2993. Happy Friday, everybody.
Thank you. Clint, good morning.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Clint Cullum, Vector Security. I apologize. I'm traveling today, so I'm here. So that discussion earlier was great, because one of the things that often gets put to the side is, hey, let me get my security, my cameras done. Let me get open first before I do that. But things such as, especially down here in Delray, Boca Raton, truth is we're the halfway house capital of the United States. A lot of people who are here in recovery end up working in restaurants. We have a tremendous amount of theft when people fall off the wagon. And it's just an unfortunate reality of what we deal with in our area. Having video surveillance, having access control to liquor and alcohol storage areas is key. Managers being able to sit, if they're in an office, being able to see what's going on in front of house, back of house, knowing what's going on, and even be able to play back and say, hey, guys, this is where we had a win. This is where we made a mistake. Those are going to be key elements to making sure that the product you're selling isn't disappearing. They're pouring drinks for their friends. Guys are out there pounding shots when they should be selling those shots. That really hurts restaurants, and we have solutions to help with that. Clint Cullum, Vector Security, Security Alarm Systems, Access Control, Fire Alarm Systems. My number is 954-616-9357.
Okay, thank you. Terry Lena, good morning. Welcome back.
Thank you. Welcome, Daisy. Glad to have you. Terry Lena, Workwear Outfitters. We manufacture multiple lines of workwear apparel, and we work with you on the conception of what your brand is looking to do. We also work to find you the best distributor partner. I do want to say that Steve and I will be in New York this weekend working the New York Restaurant Show, so hope to see some of you there. And also next weekend, I will be in Naples working the Marine Hotel Association show, and that's focused mostly on the cruise lines. You could reach me at 317-385-2539. Thank you.
Hey, thank you. Stephanie, good morning.
Hey there. Hi. Sorry about that.
I have to tell you, Stephanie, before you start, I have to tell you, I got an email this week. This has all been taken care of, by the way. I got an email telling us to cease and desist on our registered name. And that it was supposedly a law firm that was, looking to start a lawsuit. I happen to have a friend who's a lawyer who specializes in trademarks and patents, and showed it to him, and he said, BS. So everybody, look be on the lookout for
Yeah,
letters
they
like
would not
that.
send you an email, that is for sure.
Yeah.
They would send you something like a letter or certified letter, not
Sure.
yeah. Anyway, Mark and I, we are Brilliant Computers. Mark, my father, has been serving the South Florida area and beyond for over 30 years now. We do all things IT, small business and residential, medium-sized businesses even as well, business, email, hosting and support, hardware and software implementation and support, managed services, managed security, online backup, really anything. Just as Howard had just mentioned, if a suspicious email comes through or you just want to verify information, we can help you with that as well. If you are looking for support, you can email support@brilliantcomputers.com, which is right above me. And you can also call 561-877-1119. My direct number is 561-975-7422.
Okay, thank you. John Bunn, good morning.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome, Daisy. My name is John Bunn with the Bunn Company. If your customers are tired of getting their food stolen when the delivery drivers like to get inside and take a snack or two, give us a shout. We can secure your delivery foods with environment-friendly materials, environment-safe materials. It's quick, it's simple. Machines are versatile, as you can see right behind me. Bakeries have used it for years. If you remember your pork roast, beef roast, rotisserie chickens, we've been in the food side of the industry since 1955. Give us a shout. It's 1-800-222-BUNN, B-U-N-N. Our website is buntyco.com that you'll see behind me. With part of the discussion, a couple of the openings that we've been to, the biggest thing that we see is the personnel is not really trained on how to talk to the customers. And so that's a huge thing. Part of the discussion I don't think we really got into, but they got to train them. They wait until the last minute, their staff, on how to talk to customers. They need to spend more time ahead of time training them and really do a better job, because those people are the face to everybody that's standing there getting mad and waiting. And if they just teach them a little bit, it'll really help them tremendously. But give us a shout. We'll help you out. Thank you.
Thank you. Steve, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, all. Welcome, Daisy. Steve Geller, Leasing Solutions, Palisades, New York. I'm in the equipment finance business. I finance a lot of businesses for equipment acquisition, working capital, merchant cash advances, accounts receivable financing, SBA loans. I have access to a lot of funding nationwide. And I will be with Terry at the show at the Javits Center. We're going to be at booth 1245 Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. If anyone's interested, call me and I can get you a free pass. My phone number is 845-362-6106. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Kevin, good morning.
Morning, everybody. Good morning, Daisy. Welcome. Strategic Supply Chain Partners. We're a full-service hospitality consulting company. About 70% of what we do is help small and medium-sized hospitality companies and how they're structured and set up within their distribution arrangements with their broadline distributors. We renegotiate their distribution agreements on their behalf, and then we have a substantial reduction in their overall cost from distributor directly to the restaurant groups or hotel groups. We then work on manufacturer deviated pricing and rebates. We contact the manufacturers directly and get deviated price programs in place and rebate programs in place. The beauty of what we do is that we do everything on a contingency basis. So we have a shared savings model. We just go find money and then we share in the savings. There's no cost to bring us on board. We don't charge a fee, hourly rate, or project costs. We just go find money and we share in the money that we find. We also have a very strong background in operations. We all came from multi-billion-dollar restaurant chains. We work with franchisees, franchisors, and corporate locations. So if anybody has any operational needs, we have a very, very deep portfolio in our background and experiences there. Check us out at www.ssc.partners, or you can give me a call directly at my number, 407-497-9495. I'm here to help anybody at any time. So give me a holler if you like. Thanks, everybody. Have a great Friday and weekend.
Thank you. Robert, good morning. Welcome back.
Thank you, Howard. I appreciate that. Good to be back. My name is Robert Hurst with Apex Executive Consulting, and I'm a fractional executive, and I help business owners in the areas of finance and operations. Today we were talking about, business owner or restaurant owners, once they've opened up their restaurant. And I'm sure that we all know business owners that start a business but may not have years of business experience to make sure that they're going to be a successful operator in the long run. So, I believe outsourcing was suggested, and that's why, hiring a trusted advisor such as myself, to help them make sure, that they stay on track with their business plans, their budgeting, their forecast, their cash flow issues, all of these items that they need to make sure that they're running a successful business long term. Again, Robert Hurst, Apex Executive Consulting. It's www.apexbms.com, and it's 561-512-6234. Appreciate it. Thanks.
Thank you. Jerry, good morning.
Good morning, Jerry Manguel. I am with The Restaurant Store. Restaurant Store is part of Clark Food Service, which is based out of Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Also under that umbrella is Webstaurant. Together, we are the largest equipment and smallwares distributor in the United States. They have 11 brick and mortar stores up in the Northeast, and they started last year putting a footprint in Florida, have a location in Orlando, and 4 more locations coming at the end of this year: Davie, Florida, Jacksonville, and Tampa. We not only sell equipment and smallwares, but we sell private label disposable products, to-go containers, styrofoam, aluminum, as well as food products, anything that's non-refrigerated. So canned beans, ketchup, drink mixes, rice, flour, things like that. So it's a warehouse atmosphere, cash and carry, or we have order fulfillment where you could just call and have the orders ready, and you just pick it up. Great concept. Like I said, largest equipment and smallwares dealer in the United States. So pricing and our buying power is unbelievable. Have done business with some of the people on here already and looking forward to continuing. If you want more information, it's www.therestaurantstore.com, or I can be reached at gmangual, Mangual, at therestaurantstore.com. My number is 717-823-7866. Thanks. Happy Friday.
Thank you. Joemi, good morning. You're on mute.
Hi,
Hey,
everybody. My name is Joami Vega, and I own a studio. We are a design and branding studio. We specialize in F&B. We revamp, create, and elevate interior spaces for both startups and established brands. We do work in the States and out of the States as well. And whether your client, if you have a client or whatever we can facilitate for you to help them, doesn't have to be a complete remodel. Maybe they have just an area they want to improve or update. Whether they have a budget or not, we can help them create the budget. We're really good with numbers. And so you can just use this as a source for just anything from A to Z that's got to do with the creative side on the restaurant and interiors. You can reach me at 407-250-7045. or my cell phone, 407-496-3288, or scan the QR next to me for our website. Thanks.
Thank you. Helen, good morning.
Good morning. Hi, I'm Helen Gottesman. I run delicioussspoonfuls.org, which is a nonprofit where we train and employ people with special needs. There are about 100,000 people with intellectual and developmental disabilities out there in the state of Florida who are unemployed but could be trained and employed with the right person doing the training and employment. So my husband and I started this. We now do ice cream experiences with our mobile ice cream cart in South Florida. We're looking for more opportunities to bring our ice cream. We recently partnered with Hershey Ice Cream, and we're able to bring their carts and their ice cream to the events so we can do larger events. And we're looking for more hosts to out there. You can reach us at Delicious Spoon.
You're cutting in and out, Helen.
62078. And I wanted to thank Stephanie for her patience trying to straighten out a problem on my computer. And she's amazing, especially having the patience to work through the problems with Google Work.
Thank you, Helen. I'm happy to help. I'm hoping we're going to get to our destination soon.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
Can you put your link in the chat because you were cutting out for part of it? And
Okay,
I'd
sure.
like to touch base with you about
Well, that one of my problems is Comcast. So I have to
okay.
straighten that out.
Yeah. All right. Fred, good morning.
Morning. Sorry, it was a little bit tardy today. Lots of fires going on during spring break. I am Fred Bean, founder and CEO of Hotelport and also Big Foundation. For Hotelport, we provide what we call restaurant content verification services. We also recently launched a reputation AI platform that allows restaurants to respond to guest reviews on Google, Yelp, and TripAdvisor utilizing AI, and that is starting to gain some traction with our existing customers. We've got some restaurants in DC and Palm Springs, and we're starting to talk to some here in the Miami Beach area. So we're pretty excited about the prospects of that and how that will continue to grow. And then, of course, on the Big Foundation side, we are launching our culinary skills initiative in partnership with St. Thomas University, who was going to allow us to use their culinary kitchen to help us teach school-age children that are food insecure how to cook, and hopefully create a nice credentialed program that will create a path into the hospitality environment for employment or education ongoing. And some of you here on the call have been nice enough to introduce me to some of your networks, which has actually expanded the potential reach of what we're going to be able to do in the future as we continue to raise funds. We've got some university connections around the state now. Thank you to Terry. Thank you to Howard for the connections that you've made. And hopefully in the coming weeks, I'll have even more and bigger news to share with you about some additional partnerships. So again, this group has been a godsend, so I appreciate you in that respect. Fred Bean, again, you can reach me at 305-523-9434. My LinkedIn is in the chat. Please do feel free to connect with me. And then, of course, my website is www.hotelport.co. Thank you.
Hey, thank you. Before I introduce Terry, TRN Terry, I want to, again, bring up the fact that you should schedule yourself to do a presentation. I'm not talking to you directly, Fred, but I am.
What the heck?
So many different good things that we really need to know in depth. And I think, people watching would like to know. So it goes for everybody. You should do a presentation so that we fully understand what you do, so that we can help you even more. It doesn't have to be spectacular. It does, we just want to know more about what you do.
Right? I will reach out and volunteer a time for one of the coming meetings.
I didn't mean to single you out, but yeah, I
am. Thank you.
All right, TRN Terry, you're up.
Thank you. You were so nonchalant about that. I love it. Helen, what I'd like, if you could email me a list of particular things that you need or looking for, I have a tremendous amount of contacts.
Great.
Able to help you out with some of those things that you need. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. And thank you to everyone for this tremendous group. We are truly, truly blessed. On the last call at our 9 o'clock meeting, I had to take a call from someone who, now you all know Howard sends out a lot of emails. Those emails to some people seem like, wow, another email. We don't see them that way because each time we send them out, we get calls and we get emails back. Well, this one gentleman who happens to own a major company in Florida called me directly about the lead list. I sent him a sample, and in between that call and this call, he's gathered his troops and his boss together, not only wanting the list, but wanting the list a couple of years back as well, to see if they're happy with their provider services, whatever it is. So I'm very grateful that he does send those out, because that is like, he's got a tremendous amount of followers. So anyways, I wanted to bring that up because I was kind of excited about that. Happened between the two meetings. But what I do is put together a list with my team each month of what's opening, where and when in Florida. Very comprehensive list. And people that watch can get samples as well, and they do. So email me, terri@trnusa.com, and I'm happy to send you a list. It will not have the emails. And today, as of March, we had another record month of under constructions of, I believe it was 91 for 1 month, including owners' names, email addresses, phone numbers, what type of establishments, do they have other concepts, where they are in their phases, are they entering Florida, and then a whole midsection of a lot of little stuff and about when they're opening. So if anyone needs that list, they come out once a month for a year. You can look on the website, see the price. That is not your price. Okay. Email me for what your price would be. And a lot of you already get it, and especially in the 9 o'clock group. But have a good weekend. I got to go to work.
All right, let me quickly go back to Daisy. Daisy, you've seen what we do. Anything you want to add or change? And also want to mention to you that as soon as this meeting is over, I will be sending everybody a spreadsheet with the contact information of everybody that's here. So hopefully you weren't writing names and numbers down for the whole meeting. But tell us if there's anything you want to add or change.
No, I mean, it was a great, first experience, first exposure. Everybody brings, great knowledge and expertise, and yeah, it's a great hour.
Anything you want to change about what you said about your company?
Well, I mean, yeah, I help, small businesses, restaurants, retails, but and beyond. We do a free financial assessment for them. So that's something that I offer about 8 hours of free time because I'm passionate about helping them understand their financials. So.
Okay. Well, welcome, and hopefully we'll see you back.
Yes.
Again. Anybody else have anything they want to bring up real quick? Because we're at the end of the hour. I want to thank everybody for coming. And if people watching want to reach us, give us a call at 561-620-8888 or go to our website at trnusa.com. Have a great weekend. See you next week, and let the sauce be with you.